Hello out there, my name is Caitt and welcome, Mike. Hello out there, my name is Caitt and welcome back to my channel. This video is the first of two videos, so like a 2-video series on school and anxiety. This is the students edition and my next video will be the teachers edition. Now I would like to start this video off by telling you a little story. So a while ago I watched a scary movie. This one was Lights Out. It is what I think is the scariest movie I have ever seen, just because I do not like the dark. I am not a fan. Right after I watched that I had to drive somewhere, and while I was driving I saw this woman in a white nightgown with long black hair just walking like slow, like too slow to be a walking pace, like kind of like one and then another foot and like a foot every, like not a foot as in like a foot, like a foot as in a foot every like few seconds. So I was just like, okay, this is strange, because it was maybe like 10 p.m. at this point. So that's creepy thing number one. The next thing is maybe a week later I watched another movie, The Nun, which is scary, but I loved it. My favorite director producer is James Wan and he did that movie. But the next day a few weird things happened. I went to take my dog for a walk. We were gone maybe like 5 minutes, and when I got back to my house there was a dead bird on my porch. And the way it was is, like, let's say you are me and I am my front door. This is gonna be really weird. The bird was directly in the center with its, like, on its back with its feet facing me. So it was kind of like it was placed there waiting for me. So at first I thought that someone put a dead bird on my porch. I don't know if, you know, I'm like, I don't know if someone's out to get me. I didn't know what to think. I went and checked my car just to see if like someone really was out to get me and they put a dead bird on my porch for that reason. But I texted my friend, my car was fine. I texted my friend and she said that sometimes when birds slam into windows, walls, like into buildings, or really anything I guess, they can like jolt back for a second and then die, or then you know, like go into shock because they just hit a wall. So it is possible that is why the bird was like 3 feet away from the door, and why its head was like facing the door. So like the door's here, there's the bird's head, there's the bird's tail, there's me. So I don't know if that made any sense. So then I, you know, took the bird in paper towels and I put him in the woods. I didn't bury him just because, okay, well first of all, I didn't mention this. I think I'm haunted. I don't know if haunted's the right word, but I'm not like possessed or whatever. I've been watching too many horror movies. I think I'm haunted because if you've seen any horror movie, a raven or like a blackbird, which this was a blackbird, not a raven, like a tiny blackbird. If a house is haunted by something, the bird will like crash into it and purposely kill itself. So, I mean, a bird just did that for me and it was just kind of sitting there waiting for me. I was gone 5 minutes. So I went and I put the bird in the woods. I don't know, because I didn't know if he was stunned or if he was actually dead, didn't want to bury it. In my room, which I am in right now, there is a high half window, which is the highest window in my house. Basically, if my room had a normal ceiling, that's where the attic would be. So it's like the highest point, it's at the roof. Anyway, I'm sitting, I think I'm on my laptop, and just out of my peripheral vision, I see something at my window. So I look over and it looks like, I mean, it's a praying mantis that landed on my window, but it looked like it was thrown into the window. I don't know if they can fly, or it looked like it dropped down and like smacked against my window. That's the second animal in the same day that has thrown themselves. But I went and I looked up what they were both symbols of, just because that's where my mind goes to. Like, I don't believe in coincidences or anything like that, so I knew there was a reason for it. Now, this was also the day before I started school for the fall semester. Let me read to you what these symbols are. So a dead bird can symbolize new beginnings, renewal, or an obstacle. And a praying mantis symbols stillness and patience. I'm going back to school, and there's gonna be obstacles, obstacle being like my anxiety. But I'm going to overcome that, and it's gonna be like a sense of renewal. It's going to be a new beginning. And also on the side of anxiety, the praying mantis, which is patience and stillness. Anxiety, I guess if you were to like picture a movement of it, it would be like shaking. So stillness, I mean, like when I have a panic attack, I shake. So when you think of stillness, you don't really compare stillness and anxiety, so I guess the stillness and patience means, you know, my anxiety isn't going to bother me. I'm going to stay still and just like calm. So I wanted to share that with you just because, I mean, it probably sounded like a bunch of like craziness until I actually got to the symbols part of that. I wanted to share that with you because that all happened the day before I started classes, and it was very interesting to me. So now on to the actual anxiety tips. My first tip is to make yourself an anxiety kit. I will put my video, I have no idea which side it's on. I think it's on that side, but I'm probably wrong, like always. I'm going to put my anxiety kit video up there. It has changed a little bit. Basically, I still have my little water bottle, I have my pretzels, I have gum, peppermint gum, I have my lavender and peppermint essential oils, I have my throat lozenges, and I added some, they are ginger gummies. They're for nausea, because sometimes when you get anxiety, your stomach can get upset, but also like just for me, if I'm nauseous, it's good to have those with me. So basically any problem that arises, I have my kit and I have everything I need with me. Even if it's not anxiety, if it's literally just I have a stomach ache where I don't feel good, I have my stuff with me. And when I don't feel good, when I am not feeling 100%, that can cause some anxiety, which might just be like a general thing across the board. If you yourself are not feeling 100%, if you have a cold, if you are starting to get the flu or a fever or something, if your body doesn't feel the best, your mind isn't going to feel the best. Either I have a quote that I wrote down, I don't remember when I wrote it down anymore. I think it was when I was having anxiety, or maybe I woke up in the middle of the night and just wrote this down. Up there it says, when oh my god, I'm just try that again. When recovering physically, you must then recover mentally, because the two kind of go together. I will leave an link to my notes video where I explain that note. I would also like to say that my anxiety kit video is the most viewed on my channel, and I have the most comments on there that say making an anxiety kit has helped so many people so much. So thank you so much if you have commented, and I'm really, really glad that my idea has helped you. And if you're curious about making an anxiety kit, like you want to but you're not sure what to include, what I just said and in my anxiety kit video are some ideas, and you can always add in your own that you think will help you. The next tip I have, which I always do, for me, I usually listen to calming music just to put myself at ease, make myself relax. I have my anxiety playlist. I will listen to those songs. I will listen to my Christian music station. It's just uplifting music, and it's like motivating. It does also have like a Christian side of it. That's what I'm doing, what I'm listening to on the way to class. Now, I'm in college, so I have to walk like a half a mile to my classes, like the building they're in. So I put in my headphones and I listen to some music. Could be my calming anxiety music, which I usually go for. Recently, or actually this semester, I have been going for upbeat music. Like really music that will just like empower like music that will keep me motivated and keep me pushing forward and confident and feel like I run the world. The two songs that I have been going back and forth with are, and I may just like put you back in time with these songs. So, first one. I don't know if that's loud.
Everybody in the club right now. What's up? If you standing around, what? You need to get the fuck out of here. Get out. Cause we coming in clubs.
So that's the first one. It is Out of Your Mind by Lil Jon. And it was one of my dance songs. It was my dance song senior year. I absolutely loved it. Hip hop is my favorite dance style. It's very like, it'll pump you up. It'll make you feel confident. And there's like a little voice in the background that's like, I don't give a what, I don't give a what. The second song I have been using, this is Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. My favorite part of it is the end, not the end, I guess like when the girl is singing and she says, I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. That's my favorite line of this song. The next tip I have is one that I've mentioned before. If you start to feel anxiety, if your heart starts to race and you notice your heart racing, put your hand on your heart. I've talked about this in, I think it was one of my anxiety talks, maybe, I'm not sure. But if you put your hand on your heart and you feel that heartbeat, for me, my heartbeat instantly slows down as soon as I put my hand on my heart. And it slows down to like a normal tempo and it's not racing anymore. Now the next thing you could do in a situation where you feel anxious, I've said this before too, you're sitting in your desk, right? You have your notes on the table, you're in a classroom. Try to, in your mind, you could close your eyes for a second, you could keep your eyes open and just take your mind away. Push everything away until you are in this big open field and it's sunny outside and you have so much room. If you're claustrophobic or agoraphobic, this could help you. This I have tried to do sometimes, but because if you have anxiety, you usually feel closed in. So you want to kind of just breathe and make it all go away. Make the room feel bigger. And literally, like, there may be some resistance, but you just have to like push the room away. And you're still gonna be in your chair, by the way. You're not like teleporting, but in your mind you're just saying that like you're pushing everything away. And another tip, which is actually the reverse, is to really focus on your notes, really focus on the lesson, really be engaged with the teacher, like listen to what they're saying, start nodding, you know, like just so that they know you hear them. Focus on your notes if you're taking notes, if you're reading a textbook, really focus on the textbook, focus on your notes, focus on the lesson, focus on the teacher and what they are saying. And you're taking yourself out of your head and into the moment is what's going to get your anxiety to subside. Because what you're doing with anxiety, you're focusing on your mind. So if you can take that attention in any way off of your mind by pushing the room away, by listening to music, by focusing on something else, it's going to help you to, maybe it won't get rid of your anxiety, but your mind won't be the first thing on your mind. The first thing on your mind might be like a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You know what I mean? You're just like, what do those letters mean? And another tip is to look forward to your future. Let's say you're going on a solo trip. Let's say you have a vacation at the end of the week, or the end of the month, end of the semester, whatever. Make yourself like work for a goal, even if it's a goal that is years and years in the future. Just think about that. And if you ever feel like this is too much, just think about that. Like, I'm doing this for that reason. Like, I'm doing this so that I can go on that trip, and I know that trip is going to be amazing. So also takes your mind off of anxiety. But if you're ever just feeling like I can't do this, I have to leave, and even if you do have to leave, that's okay. But if you can like push yourself into staying, think about something positive that's going to happen in the future. The next tip is something I would never do before high school, like high school and before, but since I got to college, I have been doing it, and that is speaking up in class. I would hate to be called on, and I would do all of like the little tricks where you like put on this like concentrated face and you're like, I'm really thinking about this question you just asked, when really you're just like, I really don't want to get called on. Or you're staring at your notebook like, what page are we on? You know what I mean? I used to do all of that. What I do now, and what makes me feel more confident in class, what makes my anxiety go away and make me feel more in the moment, is actually volunteering to speak in class. Or maybe there's someone you really like this person's hoodie while you're walking to class. You see someone whose hoodie you really like, so you could go up to them, hey, I love your hoodie. You know, just try to engage in conversation before class. You know, you could walk to class with a friend, and you know, just kind of be engaging with people. Keep yourself in that moment, and sometimes talking to other people is how you keep yourself in that moment. I even had a teacher comment on, because I was like nodding and you know, I was like involved in the class, and they even asked like, have you taken this class before? Have you been in this room before? You look like you are really comfortable here. I had never been in that room before. I had been in once just to view the room before I had class, but that's it. Now the last tip I have is to tell your teacher, your school, your guidance counselor, tell them that you have anxiety. And you don't have to do this. I didn't tell any of my teachers this semester just because I didn't feel I needed to. I didn't feel it would be an issue this semester. I'm usually really intuitive about these things, so I would kind of know, and I would predict if it's going to be an issue, or if I feel like a teacher is going to have an issue with it down the line, then I'll tell them up front. But you know, it's a mental health issue, a mental health condition, and you know, it has to do with your health. You could go to the nurse or something, you know, just I've had friends with anxiety, or they've been going through something and they have talked to the school, and the school lets them like the school let them wander the halls with a friend, with an assistant teacher, with a guidance counselor, just with somebody. And you can also tell them what you need. Like in my For People Without Anxiety video, my tips to the people with anxiety was to tell the people who don't have anxiety, who want to help, you know, what they can do. Or what they can do, and then the people without anxiety to do. And the people without anxiety to ask what they can do for the person with anxiety. So basically, if, like for me, I just like to be left alone, but if I have anxiety, my throat kind of closes when I have anxiety, so all I need is to take my water bottle and my phone with some music out of the room. Maybe I don't even need my phone, maybe, I think I need the water though. Just let me exit the room. Let me breathe. And then I'll come back in. Even if I can't come back in, I will talk to you like after class. But just let them know what you need, because they can't guess, they can't assume that everyone's the same. I speak based on experience. All of these tips are just tips that I have used in the past, or tips that I think would help other people. Usually when you speak from experience, it inspires other people to find what works for them, or take what you say and use that. Either way, obviously with any of my videos, take what you want and leave the rest. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and are able to take something away from it. Remember to like and subscribe to be notified whenever I upload. Check out my Society 6 store. It is linked down below. And I will see you in 2 weeks with the teacher's edition of Anxiety and School. My little series. Bye!